On this episode of Bombs Away, we tell you about how our 1-year anniversary of Jim Cornette is going to lead to us finally saving lives, about how a pile of hand-screened records and t-shirts is going to bring together a divided nation, and why both a 1980s Gentlemen's Club and the National Wrestling Alliance are on our itinerary.
Hey, how much is all that going to cost us?
It's only money. It's the February 2025 episode of Bombs Away. We haven't done a full episode of Bombs Away since November, so we wanted to catch you up on everything we've been up to in December and January, starting with us hitting a deer with our truck and totaling it. At least that's what State Farm said, but we don't agree with them. We're gonna fix it anyways, because JB Fletcher is the best. We hosted our very first award ceremony, the Bommy Awards, recognizing excellence in excellence, and we were actually able to get all the Bommy Awards to the people who won them, except for the Gin Blossoms, who oddly didn't want theirs for Best Supplier and New Fans for the X-Bombers. Who knew? We released a brand new 7-inch called At the Demon Mart. We sold out of the glow-in-the-dark copies, and we still have some of the demonic black ones left for those of you, well, into demonic black things. We got in a bit of a tussle with our digital music distributor because it's a new world, and of course, why wouldn't we get in a tussle with that? Because also, Universal Music bought them and caused an absolute mess, so we had to reclaw all of our music. We made a brand new sticker and sent it out to our sticker subscribers. You guys are the best. You rule. We sent these to you in the mail, and then we quickly took the money from that and made brand new stickers, which we'll send to you at some point here in the future. And we worked on the Firebird Woman music video, and we got into it, but then we decided it was the wrong direction, so we scrapped the entire thing and got rid of hundreds of pounds of set pieces.
It's only money.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, because we're up to all sorts of crazy things this month.
February of last year is the first time that the Jim Cornette Experience used our song, Get the Experience, as the theme, which was super awesome. And back then, we actually made some promises about what we would do or not do if our song was chosen as the theme. And one of the things we said that we would definitely do is put it up on streaming platforms and available for downloads. Yes, that's right. I know. We are a band that said we would never do that, but we should probably never say never because we just did it.
Yeah, that's true. We've been a band for 14 years, and finally, our music, our song specifically, Get the Experience, is on all streaming platforms, and we're doing it because it's our 1-year anniversary as the theme to the Jim Cornette Experience.
That's right.
Or
corniversary. Corniversary? I can't say it. I cannot say it. I don't know why. Corniversary. Is that right?
Yeah, you have to sing it.
Corniversary! Nailed it.
Yeah. So it took us a little bit of a detour, like this happened, in order to get our music distributed. So what happened was our original distributor, CD Baby, they were always this kind of independent sort of thing. They were outside of stuff. And then a few years ago, they got bought by a bigger company, and things were still pretty good. But now the parent company has been bought by Universal Music, and it just turned it into, at least our experience, was an absolute mess. And so we had to take back all of our stuff, get it all off through them.
Yeah.
But that being said, right now you can go anywhere that you listen to music, and our song Get the Experience is streamable or downloadable.
What? On Spotify?
Oh yeah.
How about Apple Music?
Definitely.
How about Pandora?
Yes, because Ethan from Bullquarian very nicely asked us to do so. It's available everywhere.
Awesome. So we're finally going to get some fat cash.
Not at all, because we're holding up on our promise. Back in November, we promised to give 100% of the proceeds for a 2-week period to No Kill Louisville. But we're upping the ante. We originally said just downloads. So the idea is we're going to give away this revenue from the streaming and the downloads to it for a 3-week period from February 6th through February 28th. Mm-hmm. And it's going to go all to No Kill Louisville. And they do amazing things there. They help keep dogs out of the shelter, which keeps them alive and home. Same for cats. So they foster. They have a low cost like spay and neuter program, and the thing I'm actually I think is the coolest, they run a pet food bank. So if you're going through rough economic times, the pet gets fed.
Yes, I've been doing some calculations.
All right.
And I have decided that if we get 90 cents about for a download,
thereabouts,
that would purchase about a pound of pet food.
Yes, it's a better brand of pedigree was what we did the calculation.
Okay. So if for streaming stuff you get what, like a third of a cent?
In Spotify, yes.
or maybe as much as like a full cent.
1.3 cents around there if you're on Tidal, and about a cent on Apple. So that's the sweet spot.
Okay, so even that is like a handful of kibble at least.
Right. I mean, like the Spotify is like kibble, like one kibble.
Spotify is like kibble being crushed and then just dust.
It's one kibble.
Okay.
And then Tidal is like Jay-Z coming in personally and handing like 4 or 5
Making it
kibble.
rain kibble.
Right. I guess hail kibble. Whatever it would be. But regardless, it's available everywhere. And just by clicking, you could be feeding dogs. So every time you go click, kibble.
Feel good about that.
Literally, kibble. You're feeding a dog, you're feeding a cat. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And we're going to hold up to our original promise as well back in November that if you all push it really hard and you're feeding a bunch of dogs by clicking and kibbling, right? We will match 100% of the downloads and streams if it reaches a Billboard chart of any type. We're all signed up for all this stuff, so if you push it and it ends up there, we will figure out how to put that money to No Kill Louisville. And how much kibble would that be?
So much kibble.
So much kibble, right? It would feed most of Louisville metro area for a while. And plus, up on top of that, this other thing that happens, which it really encourages us to put more music online and do these things, because then it tells the algorithm that we're worthy of listening to. Yeah. And then you're listening to it repeatedly, getting people kibble, adding it to playlists, right? Downloading, pound of kibble there. Kibble everywhere, and it really takes the sting out of the cost of recording and mastering and digital download distribution.
Because, it's only money.
And speaking of anniversaries, now it's the time of year where we get to announce our official fan club pack. For the last 3 years, we've released these ultra rare packs of a 7-inch record that's been hand screened, a t-shirt, and a tote bag, all shipped to you. And this year, we're only doing 40 copies. That's right, 40 in total. And once they're gone, they're gone. We've had so many people in the past year ask us, when are we going to get a copy of Get the Experience on vinyl? Not anytime soon, because it was part of the fan club pack. And once it was sold out, it was sold out. So this year, we're doing it for the Epic Fantasy series, Gates of Divinity by Al Lytle and Toy Blazer. It's a song called Everybody's Gotta Pick a Side, and we really like this one. It's got this bluish or cult style riff. It just feels like epic winter sort of stuff to it. It's this rockin' song. You might have heard it at one of their live appearances all around Wisconsin, but it records really well. It's such a cool song. It's about how there's no more common ground between people, no matter what the thing. So whether it's like wrestling, music, politics, whatever it is, everybody's on this side and they're doing this thing and they never come together over stuff. So things like, now the gate's never been so wide and you can't trust who's on the other side. And we kind of continued that in the artwork. And so I've got right here the screen printing thing, and Kitty's going to give us a tour.
Sure, but I have the original artwork right here in case you'd like to use that.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's here, right? But this is, by the way, your proof that Kitty screens everything. So Kitty, give us a tour of what you hand drew.
So obviously I was heavily inspired by the sort of political climate and the concept of everybody's got to be on this polarizing opposite side than each other. So I drew myself as a drumocrat. I have my cute little thing here.
Crest.
My cute little crest here.
That's right.
And I drew you as a bass publican, and you have your cute little crest over here. And there's just some fun little details like the eagle down here. He's got a microphone and some headphones, and it's just treble and bass represented. I don't know. I had fun with it.
Love it.
I don't normally draw cartoons, so the fan club's always kind of been my excuse to do that, I guess, which is super fun.
Yeah.
And these are, like you said, there's 40 of them available.
In the world.
And they're on our website. And that's how you can get them. They come with a t-shirt.
By the way,
get the t-shirt.
This isn't even just a regular t-shirt, right? This is an ice gray t-shirt. It's a really unique sort of thing, too. So if you're looking to spice up your wardrobe with something that's not so outside of what you normally do, but it's kind of like, you're like, oh, black jeans with this?
Oh, heck yeah.
Black skirt with this? Black shorts with this? No, don't wear shorts with our t-shirt. But you can also get this tote bag down here as well. And I love this design. It's hand done. And I think this is the last year we're going to do t-shirts with it.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. So if you like those at all, if you've had fun getting those, this is probably the last one.
You got to make it complete at that point at that. And so there's only going to be 40 of these available. And once they're sold out, they're gone for good. And if you decide that you want to buy something from the thexbombers.com. We will throw in whatever you buy with free shipping because we're shipping you the fan club anyways, right?
Yes, but
Buy the
we're
fan club.
very analog and we don't know how to do computer coding super well. So we're just going to refund you the shipping because that's basically how we know how to
And
do
it works well, you know. You buy a fan club pack, you decide you want a record or a shirt or something.
Whatever.
Boom, it's in there. We
Yeah.
refund that. And remember, there's only 40 of them available in the world, and it's only $39 shipped.
And also remember, it's only money.
So speaking of 7-inch records, one of the songs from our latest 7-inch called At the Demon Mart, the song Firebird Woman, is going to get its own music video. We talked a little bit about it last time, about how we're going to make a life-size diorama of the Demon Mart. But one of the things we always say around here is that thinking people change their minds, and wouldn't you know, we're thinking people and we...
Changed our mind.
Exactly, right? So we had a lot set up for it, and then we kind of decided to go in a different direction because we know to trust our guts on this. So now what we're going to do is it's now going to take place at Sinbad's Gentlemen's Club and recording studio, right? Because the idea is from the book series that Sinbad's is a gentleman's club for the deeply naughty. So our thought is that
Of course, Kevin would set up a recording studio in Sinbad. I don't know why. He just
Of
would.
course.
So that's what we're going to do.
Kevin, of course, is the cockroach from the 24/7 Demon Mart series, who's the night manager of the Demon Mart, who also in the book Disenchanted, to which we're featured, claims that he wrote Firebird Woman, but we know this is not true. We've seen the start of this thing. So what we decided to do is we decided to make a gentleman's club that would actually be warm and inviting, that we'd hang out in, because neither of us have been in a gentleman's club before. So we're just like, oh man, what if the person who owns it's like a former like roller derby woman, and like we'd hang out and sip Blanton's, and we did all sorts of crazy things. Like we had to draw an entire schematic of what we thought, like, you know, what we thought that the entire demon or what Sinbad's would be.
So we're basically going to construct a gentleman's club in our house.
Yeah. We'll put a sign outside. Nothing bad will happen here. So the idea is that this is Sinbad's is how we imagine it here. This very highly technical thing.
Yes.
So I bring this to Kitty, right? And the idea that Kevin, we're recording at Sinbad's.
Yeah.
Kevin has an idea, and we're off from there. So we got to build all this stuff.
We're, you know, these are just some
curtains.
These are just some vibes.
She's gonna have to sew all the curtains.
You know? Yeah, snakeskin.
We have to build a full stage, all the lighting.
We do. I think we're gonna
furniture.
go old school with those cool bulbs, you know, that you screw in on the stage. That's gonna look cool.
Tell me about this little number.
It's just snakeskin. It's crazy. We're gonna go
so much snakeskin in this thing,
I
right?
don't know.
We're gonna get a bunch of old, like vintage kind of recording equipment from like the 80s. We want to be like kind of like lovely brown and ugly, like the Tascams that we have in these things. I don't know how to explain it, but what we do know is that we're going to film it later this month, and we're going to have some updates on the next Bombs Away.
Yeah.
So
stay tuned for some like behind the scenes and stuff. We'll try to take pictures and share.
Yeah, stay tuned and watch us and watch us spend way too much money that we don't have on this thing.
Oh, I know, but it's only money.
Wow. And speaking of things we're looking forward to, we're really looking forward to recording our next song. And it's because it is going to be a professional wrestler's theme song. It's going to be heard all across the country, across the loudspeakers and stuff. And it's not just any wrestler. It's one of the stars of the National Wrestling Alliance, the current Mid-America champion, the king of the territories, Jeremiah Plunkett. You might know Jeremiah from a couple things of ours. First of all, he was one of the tag team wrestlers in our music video for Get the Experience. And he was so instrumental to making everything work out. And we still feel kind of bad for hitting him with a tennis racket and a bass too hard a few times. But you also might know him too as the Professional Wrestler of the Year, the Bommy Award winner.
Yes.
And so in his award speech, he was like, "Hey, we should talk about making music together." And us being us, we're like, "Yeah, let's. We have an idea. Do you want to make this happen?" And he's like, "Yes," because it sounded like our idea was to like we had this riff for something we were playing with, and I was like, man, this would sound so good as like an arena theme song, but like from the Jim Crockett era.
Yeah, it's super catchy. It's like menacing. It's got that like cha-chung, cha-chung, shuffle. I don't know what you want to call it. Is that shuffle?
Yeah, it's shuffle.
It's awesome.
The drummer.
Yes, it's really good. We're really happy with it. The opening line is, "The sun goes down because he comes out at night.
His right hand is how they make dynamite."
which it cracks us up. We
Yeah,
love that.
it's
Anyway,
But it's awesome, and we had to do a bit of research in order to like make sure it's at its best. Because if you only watch WWE, you're like, oh, they played the whole song.
you
they
must
need to
think
repeat
an
it.
entrance is 3 minutes long.
Seven. My
minutes.
goodness, right? it's people show up for the entrances.
Yes. But no, really, it's typically like 45 seconds to maybe, 90?
90. Yeah, we watched a bunch of entrances, and it kind of averaged there. And so like your like tough guy champions were on the longer side of about 80 to 90. And so to kind of pay homage, we watched a few Jack Stane entrances. And Jack Stane is one of the great champions of the NWA in the modern era. And he just had this presence where he'd come out. And his played for about 85 seconds on average.
Yeah.
So he surveyed, it was awesome. And so our thought was like, okay, we need a song that like, if you only get 40 seconds, it's really good.
It's still good, yeah.
But if you got 75 to 80,
it's really good.
it's special. It like makes a moment. You just go like, oh my God, who's this guy?
Yeah, we're pretty proud of it. So where can people hear said theme?
Two possible places. Number one, it could be debuting at the National Wrestling Alliance's pay-per-view Hard Times on March 22nd. There's a chance of that. We don't know for sure. It's in conversation right now. But if it happens, we'll definitely let you know. And we'll buy the pay-per-view because, my God.
It's only money.
Exactly. Or definitely on April 26th in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Squared Circle Expo. Which is loaded with all kinds of people, like
it really is.
Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Arn Anderson, Jerry the King Lawler, Missy Hyatt, Swerve Strickland, all sorts of people.
Who else is going to be there?
Well, Mick Foley. Oh, you mean about this? There's a big event that night, right?
Yeah.
It's headlining night 2. They have a big wrestling card with a bunch of NWA stars, and our guy Jeremiah Plunk is going to be defending the Mid-America Championship there. You know who else is going to be there, though?
Who?
Us. We're gonna be there.
Cheering him on.
Cheering on our guy, right? Hearing our speakers, just feeling that night, which is exciting.
That'd be cool. That's something you will never get to experience again, probably.
Big, huge live crowd.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And think not, the Mid-America Championship's gonna be expanding and going places.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And speaking of going places, on Friday, February 14th, we return to Miskatonic Brewing in Darien, Illinois to play one of our favorite places. It's an event called Palentine's Day, where friends get together over music, a new beer they're tapping, and an excellent food truck. Nights at Miskatonic get wild, and they always have the cutest dogs. No cover, music 6 to 9. On Saturday, February 15th, we return to Monroe, Wisconsin to play our favorite tiny stage at Bull Aquarian Brewhouse for Noir Fest 2025. Dark clothes, dark beers, dark desserts, dark everything. We play with our friends, the League of Erics. Our 7-inch release in December was such a special night. We'd love to see you all back there for another wild one at Bull Aquarian, as we really do love this place. No cover, the Erics at 4, we play 6:30 to 8:30. On Friday, March 21st, we make our debut at Paducah Beer Works in Paducah, Kentucky for FemFest 2025. This is a celebration of women in music with 4 bands, including our amazing friends Melanie A. Davis and the Madness. This night of awesome music starts at 8 and we play around 9. On Saturday, March 22nd, we return to Skeleton Key Brewery in Woodridge, Illinois for the Cave Tone Records 17-year anniversary spectacular. We celebrate our record label's birthday at one of our favorite places. We will be joined by fellow Cave Tone recording artists Pater Filius, the League of Erics, and Safe Harbor. No cover, music at 7. And on Saturday, March 29th, we return to Buzz Bomb Brewing in Springfield, Illinois for another night of absolute electricity at this amazing space. These nights are special, and those of you who joined us for our 14-year band anniversary know that we pull out all the stops for Springfield, so we'd love to see you there. No cover, music 7 to 10. And if you really want to support us in our radical endeavors, buy a record, a shirt, sticker subscription, fan club pack, tote, or put money in our tip jar at thexbombers.com. Remember, it's only money. Your support feeds our music machine and keeps us on the road, recording music and creating imaginary worlds for our music videos. And if you feel generous with your attention, we can be social at the X Bombers on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads, or Blue Sky. And if you really want to support your duo's world champions, invent your own cryptocurrency. Call this new cryptocurrency X-Bomb and start to extol its virtues in every online space. Tell everyone that its blockchain has triple nano layer encoding with unlimited scalability, and that this transformative and disruptive token has a hyper-limited supply. supply. Put the X-Bomb listing on Coinbase and Robinhood, but list that they can only be mined through engagement with digital music, specifically through the X-Bomber's music. Through repeated listening, people unlock an imperceptible reward to be turned into liquidity upon widespread adoption of the coin. Note that early adopters will benefit directly from anyone they convince to start mining X-Bomb. Start engaging with online journalists and crypto influencers demonstrating how it offers true decentralized and democratized finance, and that whales are starting to accumulate X-Bomb at a higher rate than any other crypto. Start having X-Bomb supporters write into Jim Cramer. Tell him that if he runs a new segment called Crypto Corner and talks about X-Bomb, millions of viewers will tune in. Take the interview request from the Wall Street Journal about X-Bomb and how it performs favorably in bull and bear markets. Charm Warren Buffett with your dedication to fiscal discipline and tell him all about X-Bomb's fundamentals. As Berkshire Hathaway seeks to open a position on X-Bomb, send out a press release about its forthcoming CMM, or currency mining mutation, where miners must bring their computers to the X-Bomber's live performances to mine tokens. Tell mega investment firms that all X-Bomb future capital gains are non-taxable once they reach a hidden accumulation point that can only be achieved by holding all corporate celebrations at live performances and by sending the SEC mixtapes of the X-Bombers. Upon seeing the popularity of X-Bomb soar, watch every firm file for exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, and lobby for the SEC to allow corporations to count X-Bomb on their year-end balance sheets at a ratio commensurate with their annual worship of the X-Bombers. Then, for the financial health of the nation, have the New York Stock Exchange have the X-Bombers play the opening bell on the day the first X-Bomb ETF is offered so that the financial power of X-Bomb can be injected into the entire financial system.